Audiobook is pleased to present the Modern Scholar Series, where great professors teach you. My name is George Guidell, and I'll be your host. Today we begin a course entitled Citadels of Power, The Castle in History and Archaeology. Your professor will be Thomas J. Finan. Professor Finan is an assistant professor and director of the Center for International Studies at St. Louis University. He received his Ph.D. at Catholic University of America, his M.A. at the University of Chicago, and his B.A. at the University of Missouri, Columbia. Finan was Rotary Ambassadorial Scholar and a visiting scholar in the Department of Medieval History at Trinity College, Dublin, during the 1999-2000 academic year. Finan's research interests include the history and archaeology of medieval Ireland, and more particularly, the archaeology of the later medieval Gaelic lordships in the western regions of Ireland. For the last 10 years, he has been director and co-director of the Kiltashean Archaeological Project, a project that investigated the remains of a 13th-century ecclesiastical complex and hall house. The project, funded by the Royal Irish Academy, was one of the largest ongoing research excavations in Ireland in the last decade. Finan has also directed research excavations in Missouri and worked as a site supervisor in Ireland, Wales, and England. Finan has published a number of articles related to castles and fortifications in the western part of Ireland. He recently edited a collection of essays that investigate the Gaelic lordship of Moylurg in the later medieval ages. He is a past president of the American Society of Irish Medieval Studies and is active in a number of international archaeological and castle study organizations, including the Society for Medieval Archaeology and the Chateau Gaillard Conference. Finan lives in St. Louis with his wife, Marty, and his two sons, Tommy and Connor. For more information on this course, please visit its webpage at www.modernscholar.com, where you'll have access to links to related sites and a seminar room to share your thoughts with other students. And now, we begin Citadels of Power, The Castle in History and Archaeology. Lecture 1. What is a castle? Why study castles?
Before we begin the material for the first lecture, I'll give an outline of what we'll be covering in the entire course over these 14 lectures. For the first 5 lectures, we'll look at the different types of castles, or the morphology of castles, beginning with timber castles and moving on towards stone castles, Norman castles, and the concentric defended castle. We'll then spend 2 or 3 sections looking at the castle as social construct and consider the castle within the wider landscape of medieval Europe, and look at the way in which the castle was divided and subdivided both internally and externally. We'll spend a session considering how to defend a castle, how to attack a castle, and then we'll look at regional distributions of castles, primarily focusing on the British Isles, France, and the Holy Land. In this first lecture, I'd like the listener to consider what is a castle and why study castles. Well, if you ask me, of course, I would say, why not study castles? Because I'm one of those people who've always enjoyed considering castles. Castles, along with cathedrals and monasteries, were one of the most important features of the medieval landscape and of medieval society. It's one of those features of medieval Europe where visitors today can actually still visit and experience the actual physical space of medieval Europe. They also offer the ability to study a feature or a structure almost as a text or a book. And so to explain individual castles and to explain what they mean, in a sense, informs us of the mindset and the mentalities of people who lived in the Middle Ages. Okay, but how hard can that be?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.